Can I really start whenever?
Yeah.
All right, this is Kill You Last. I'm Peter Garacci.
I'm Alex Bashira.
And
Hey.
we have
Hi.
Josie Dion from Let's Get Loud on Compound Media. Welcome, Josie.
What up, guys? How you
How you
doing?
doing?
Thanks for
You're
having
far
me.
away, right?
I am. I'm actually in Greece right now, and it's like 2:30 in the
Wow.
morning.
That's the smartest move of anyone I know for lockdown.
I do kind of feel like I betrayed my city, but I didn't run away from my problems or from our problems. But my family's here, and they were like telling me to come over. So I was like, all right, fuck it. I'm not doing anything. I might as well go.
So your
What's is
family lives in Greece?
Yeah, I have half my family's here, half my family's there. I
Oh,
actually
that's cool.
grew up here. So
Oh,
Oh, no
wow.
kidding.
yeah, I lived here for 10 years.
Oh,
So
wow. So
I
my,
went to
my
school here and
family
everything.
my family's from Sicily, but like my dad's like cousins and uncles and stuff, so I go over there, but I mean Italy was
Nice.
locked down, so I wasn't going to go to Sicily at the beginning of lockdown, but
No.
Yeah.
Italy was like the epicenter of like
I know.
Europe. It was terrible.
hmm
But so I met you doing your show with Larry, and
Let's get loud.
that
Yeah.
was a ton of fun. And then we had Larry on a little while ago. Larry did Top Gun a little
Fantastic.
while.
Yes, yes. He was telling me about
Oh my god!
it.
And actually, I think I did Let's Get Loud that same night.
I think it was the
But
same night.
you
I
weren't.
wasn't there.
Yeah,
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 because
yeah.
of the time difference. I didn't do like a bunch of my first shows. So
hmm
Larry took over because he has a specific time slot. So I
Yeah,
wasn't able to take part, but now I've started coming back on.
that's so. Well, I missed you, but hopefully we'll get to do it. Like, I'd love to do it again. You should have
Of course,
Alex on too.
absolutely.
But yeah, we have
Absolutely.
like a fun like compound media like no, I don't know what the word is. Not synchronicity. What's
Compound Media
Oh
adjacent.
yeah,
We
yeah.
have some compound listeners
Yeah,
that listen to our
we've done a
show.
bunch of compound shows, and then we've had
Yeah.
a bunch of compound people on our show,
Yeah.
and then
Right, yeah, yeah,
we're
yeah, yeah.
starting to get like those like Twitter like compound Twitter fans.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those
Like,
fucking
which is
losers.
fun, you know?
No,
Those
no, we love
are
you. Yeah.
they're wild.
Yeah.
Some of them
Those
are,
are fucking
dude. I was
wild.
at
They're very dedicated.
at
Yeah, they
Gino
really are.
at
Yeah.
Gino's birthday. I was
Oh
leaving.
God.
I was leaving the
I was
bar,
there. Yeah, I remember.
and a woman goes, "Are you Peter Garacci?"
Ugh.
And I said, "Actually, yes, I am. I am."
I really
The
hate
Garachi.
whoever did that. I hate you.
It was amazing. I told
No.
my because I goofed at like my like persona is the Garachi. It's like all my social media, like
I
everything.
know the
I know
Garachi.
my birthday party is Peter Palooza, all this stuff. And so like my family's like they're like, "Do you actually think that's like a real thing?" And I was like, "Listen, one day you're gonna be with
In
me in
your
New York
head.
City, and someone's gonna come up to me and say, 'Are you the Garachi?' And it's gonna make me so angry."
Yeah.
I'll do it if you pay me.
Oh my god, that would
it might
be
be worth
great.
it.
Just do it. Yeah.
But so Josie, like we're glad to have you on. It's so awesome to be able to have somebody from Greece on here.
Thanks.
But you
Thanks.
picked a fun movie, so I'm excited to talk about this movie. So why don't you say what you
I
picked and why?
did. I did. So I went ahead and I picked the Gremlins,
Yeah.
and I did because it's one of my favorite. I'm going to say Christmas movies because yes, it is a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
It does qualify for sure.
It does. I mean, it takes place during Christmas time. It's
hmm
1984.
hmm
I was a baby when it came out, but I definitely enjoyed it watching it in my teens. And I don't know, it has a little bit of horror, a little bit of action, actually a lot of bit of action,
hmm
comedy, and it's just one of my favorite movies that stuck with me. So that's why I picked it.
Yeah. So I had a question because I had never seen Gremlins. Obviously, I've heard of Gremlins. It's probably one of the most famous '80s movies that as someone who hasn't seen a bunch of '80s movies. But how old were you when you saw this for the first
Uh,
time?
Me, I was in my teens probably.
That sounds about
Okay,
right.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because this would be when I was watching this, I was like, I think I'd really, really, really love this if I was like 13 or like
Right.
15.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I saw it way
It's
too young.
horrifying if you're a child.
It's
Yeah.
a little scary. I was gonna say even me, 28 years
Even
old,
now, it's
watching
horrifying
it.
if you really pay attention.
Well, I was watching it. I didn't like. There's something about the look of the Gremlins when they get to their final form that really is quite unsettling.
Reptilish.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw it way too young and I loved it as a kid. And I just, going back and rewatching it yesterday, like I remembered there were certain things that like upset me then that I had like PTSD rewatching it.
Oh God. Like what?
In specific, the thing that it's funny, it's the candy bar under the table
Oh,
when the
right.
scientist gets like that to me.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, that was always the thing. Maybe because I eat too much junk food, but like there was something about like sticking a candy bar underneath a table and having a monster, attack you it was particularly scary. But also, like, I mean, I don't want to get ahead of ourselves, so we should talk about like kind of the beginning. There's a
Yeah.
lot of
Okay.
like fun stuff. There's a lot of fun '80s stuff in this movie that's even like peripheral to the story. Like just having a movie where it's just accepted, like, oh, we're just gonna have this magical creature that's the main like element of the movie. It's like they just don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
So
You know, like you just
Right.
like you just accept that there's this creature,
yeah, they don't really
Never heard
explain
of.
where it comes from, its
Right.
origins at all.
but that there's rules about how you take care of that creature
Of
are
course,
very
absolutely.
'80s. Like so, like
So what are the rules? Do you guys remember?
Yes, of course.
Of course, I just watched.
Josie, what are the rules?
See,
wanna
I
hear
didn't
it.
watch it. I didn't get a chance to watch it, so I
I'm
haven't
sure you've seen it.
seen it in like a while. Okay,
Uh-huh.
so no direct sunlight.
Yes.
Do not feed it after midnight,
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and make sure it doesn't get wet.
All right, you're
Yeah.
you're good. You didn't have to watch it. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bright light, bright light.
Bright
light,
bright light. That's actually Howie Mandel doing the voice of
I know.
Gizmo,
yes.
which is
Yeah.
amazing. And so it's sort of like it's fun. Like just when I put it on
That song.
he hums. It's so sweet. Like it's actually really.
It really is.
It starts with like I feel like the bumbling dad. Like being a dad is kind of
It's like a struggling inventor. Right?
Yeah,
Yes.
he's like an inventor, which I feel like was bigger when I was a kid. Like I
Yeah,
feel
nobody
like I
tries
knew
to do
guys
that.
were
Yeah.
trying to be inventors when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Well, all those people now they've moved to like software development or like just like like inventing
Right.
things on the internet, which is
Yeah.
like actually successful.
Yes.
Like you could actually do that. But back in the 80s, I feel like there were people just making like gadgets and just,
You heard about guys who were like they somehow like made a living, but they didn't actually ever sell anything that they made.
Yeah. And
And I
and
feel like
most
that
of
was
it
a
was like
thing that happened.
unsuccessful.
And then also too, just the door-to-door salesman was a thing.
Yep.
Right.
Like we bought a vacuum cleaner from a door-to-door salesman when I was a kid.
that just sounds
We
like
bought
a
an
scam.
encyclopedia.
Yeah, they
Oh.
used to come to your
Whole
house.
encyclopedia.
How
And
old
another
are
thing
you guys?
is-
Like 80? Jesus Christ.
No, my parents. No, this was like
This
was
is the
big up
90s,
until like
actually.
Okay.
probably up until like 92, 93. I feel like we still had door-to-door salesmen.
That's
This is what like suckers like my parents are. Like we had an insurance salesman that this guy, like my mother was Santa Claus to him, because whenever he showed up with some new insurance policy, the guy like whatever he had to say to make the sale.
yeah.
He's like one of those
Ooh.
guys.
Yeah.
Dude, I remember the guy was Jewish, and my mom mentioned going to church, and he's like, I love Jesus.
Yeah.
Whatever I gotta do to make the sale.
It's a good
Hey.
And, like,
salesman.
The dad in
Yeah.
this movie reminds me of like that guy where he's just like a sad sack, like you feel bad for him, but like,
Right.
Yeah.
but he does cause a disaster to happen, so you can only feel so bad. Like all of this
Right.
is his fault.
Yeah,
Like,
it really is. He's a
It
nightmare.
really.
and then
Well,
there's
actually,
the whole,
wait. Is it his fault? Do you think,
or the
is
kids.
it the old Chinese guy's grandson's fault?
Yeah,
Technically, it's his fault. Yes.
Because
I
he's
think
the one who
right.
decided to sell it to him after his grandfather said no.
Yes, and so the grandfather. So that's the first scene in the movie. They basically
Yes, that is. He's in
Yeah.
Chinatown.
It's an odd movie too, especially for the 80s, because a lot of the 80s movies that we've done, they have like these like 15-minute long credit sequences in the beginning, and it's just like who the fuck cares, and like a long panning shot, and it's raining and the road and it's raining and the road. Like I literally skipped through like 15 minutes, and I have like a process when I watch these movies. We've done a ton of episodes, so I skipped to like 4 minutes in just to see. And we were already in like the fourth scene. So like it was very interesting that it pans right to this scene where you have the bumbling inventor. I forget his name.
was it
the father?
Rand,
Rand.
or something
Rand.
like
And
that?
he's
Randall?
narrating.
Randall.
Yeah. and
Randy?
I think it's Rand. Like Rand, just R-A-N-D. Either way, he's narrating. And he's saying, "Oh, I have this story. It's a story like no other, basically." And then he walks into this like Chinese shop. I guess I don't really know
Yeah.
what they're
Yeah.
doing in there.
And it's funny because it's like there was also like a lot of like a lot of obsession with Asia in the 80s. And I think it
Yes.
was like the Japanese were like starting to like sell like a lot of cars in America. So like there's even a line in this movie about like foreign cars. Like in every 80s movie somebody makes some comment about a Japanese car. Like there was like a real
Right.
like there was like an
Oh,
obsession.
oh, oh. Later on in the movie, when like his car like breaks down or something. You mean, right?
I think he
Somebody said
does.
something about like foreign cars.
Something like
But
that. Yes.
there was like an obsession with Asia, but then also like a fear that the Asians were going to take over.
Right.
So this
Right.
movie has like a little bit of it's like there's like this this mystery and this like magic around like Asian people, as if there's like some old Chinese guy that will have a magical creature. You just like accept that
Yeah,
as a
it's kind of
given.
just like, of course. Yeah. Of course.
Of course,
these
that would
guys.
happen.
Right.
So he takes Gizmo home.
Mogwai.
Yeah, he takes the
Mogwai.
Mogwai home to
A
his
Mogwai.
son.
Oh,
Well,
which,
so
by the way, and I'm sorry to interrupt, but I was
No,
just reading
no.
up on that. A Mogwai actually means devil in Cantonese.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What a nugget. Wow.
Well, so Gremlins
How
were
prepared is Josie? Holy crap.
yeah. So Gremlins are like a real like legend of
Yeah.
like and like whenever like a plane in like World War II would go down, they'd say like, oh, the Gremlins must have got in there. Like whenever you know what I mean? Like there was always sort of this like urban legend of these creatures that would wreak havoc. And so the story of this movie basically draws on that urban legend.
Oh,
So,
is that
yeah, there's
okay?
real,
So that
like-
was like basically like if any sort of technology failed, they'd be like, and there was like no immediate explanation as to why.
Yeah.
It'd be like, oh, the Gremlins must have got
Yeah,
it.
absolutely.
Okay,
absolutely.
all right.
You would even hear that. I
Interesting.
remember even hearing that as a kid. So that's where this movie. This is an original idea from
Wow.
Chris Columbus wrote the script, and Chris Columbus is not a famous guy, but like he's had a hell
He
of a
is
career.
now. I mean, he directed the first couple of Harry Potters.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy.
Well, he directed Home Alone was his first
Yeah.
movie directing, and
Yeah.
he
Oh, wow.
wrote Adventures in Babysitting, and this movie was such a monster hit that had
Right.
like kind of launched him into the stratosphere.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
like
yeah.
he wrote this and Goonies, so like
And
that's a
Goonies
hell.
was my first choice, actually. Remember? But
Yeah, we did
unfortunately, you
Goonies.
guys
I
did it.
Goonies, like,
Yeah,
is
that makes sense though.
unbelievable. But like to write both those movies in the 80s
Right,
is
that's
pretty
crazy.
impressive.
Yeah,
For sure.
Yeah.
As both like original as both original ideas is pretty freaking
Yeah.
impressive.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
Absolutely.
think this movie is like it's really well done. It's like it's funny, but it's like scary, but it's still a Christmas movie. Like at
Yeah.
the end, like you hope that everyone doesn't die.
Well,
at
you're
the end.
hoping, because that's another
Yeah.
thing.
People,
You're not
but people
really
do
sure.
die, and
Yeah.
and people do actually die in this movie. It's not that PG or even G. you
Right,
know
like
what I
Home
mean?
Alone, nobody's
Yes.
really dying. People are getting hurt in funny ways, but like nobody dies.
Well, it's
This
funny
one,
you say
just don't know
it's
who
funny you
dies.
say PG, Alex, because Josie. I told Josie that she had to be PG on here, and then I was,
What?
and she's like, "Really?" And I was like, "No, I'm kidding." But like, this movie was one of the first PG-13 movies ever,
Oh.
and they had to invent PG-13 in 1984 because there were movies like Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom that kids wanted to go see, and then they left the theater and they were like horrified, and the parents were like, "What the fuck is this?"
But
I just-
I read some reviews over here as well. The same thing happened with Gremlins, that a lot of parents were actually upset after taking their kids there because there was a lot of violence. I mean, yeah, it was kind of gory if you think about it. You're bringing
Oh,
Yeah,
kids
it's
yeah.
not a
in.
kids movie.
Me as
No.
a 9-year-old or even like a 7-year-old, I would have been a little bitch and probably cried and I probably got really scared from watching something like this.
I'm
I
trying
think
to.
it's too young for
Yeah.
that kind of movie. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but I could understand wanting to go see it if you were that age and you just hear the
Right.
buzz and you see like the preview and it's this
yeah.
little cute kind of thing.
Well, they sold like Gizmo dolls and like
Yeah.
they definitely
Yeah.
marketed it. There was probably a Happy Meal toy at that
oh
time.
sure, yeah.
They definitely
But
marketed it to
Gizmo was
kids.
a good one.
Yeah, I mean, I wish. I
The
wonder.
Devils.
I don't remember if I had a Gizmo when I was a kid. I had like a lot of those toys, but I
didn't
don't
have a
remember I had a
Gizmo.
Gizmo. But yeah, I just remember this was definitely on my rotation when I was a kid. I love this movie, and it was fun to go back and watch it because it's like Joe Dante directed it, and he's
Yes.
very like again like interesting director who's done a lot of like stuff that was kind of both like very independent, like either comedy or science fiction or horror, and like just it's a very unique movie. You know what I mean? Like the way the movie is made is it's not a cookie cutter movie. Like it
Yeah.
could have easily gone off the rails.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
Right. No, absolutely.
The main character is a fucking animatronic fucking
Yeah.
doll.
They nailed the special effects. I mean, they look phenomenal. I mean, it's basically
Well,
live.
back then, when you like look at it now and compare it to like
I think it
today's.
holds up pretty nicely, honestly.
Well, yeah, no.
Yeah.
For then, though, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
going back, what, 30,
It's not
40 years?
CGI, of
Yeah.
course.
Right.
We've had an ongoing conversation on here, Josie, that like
Yeah.
the real special effects, it's more scary than when you
Yeah.
know it's CGI, you know it's a cartoon.
Yeah.
You can only be so scared, but when it's actually
Right.
like a little green monster, you're like, I know it's a puppet, but that dude
looks
is eating
fucking-
that guy.
Yeah.
It's actually on that lady's back. Like,
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
It reminded me of like a less grotesque version of The Thing. Because The Thing is basically the same kind of design, like a big puppet. And The Thing really creeped me out when we did that.
Yeah.
They,
I wonder
like,
if it's the same guy who designed it. The
It's
thing was
interesting.
Stan Winston. I gotta look up who did the dolls.
well, I think whoever did nailed it because, like, if that was a poor design, the whole movie falls apart. It's like you said, the
Right.
main character.
Yeah, because it's based on, that's the main character. So it's
Yeah.
got to be somewhat convincing.
Yeah.
You also believe Gizmo.
Yes.
Like Gizmo, like for a
so much
character that
emotion.
for a character that doesn't speak,
Yeah.
Barely. Yeah.
like you get I'm so
It's like humming.
I'm
and I'm,
so
like, in love with him.
involved in Gizmo's like well-being.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I want,
Protect
You're always
Gizmo
worried.
at
You're
all
concerned
costs.
about Gizmo. You're like, where's Gizmo though in this scene?
Yeah.
You know, like you're worried.
and I don't
about him.
understand. Like to me, I'm like as a kid who experienced bullying in school, like I don't. It makes me mad
Aw.
that the other Gremlins bully Gizmo.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm
Like, that's
so
your
mad
mom.
at them.
Yeah.
That's
It's
your
like,
mom,
yo.
bro.
It bothered me too.
I
Because
read
they get
that
mad.
originally. I read that originally it was going to be Gizmo was going to give birth to Stripe. And so it was going to be the good character became the bad character, and I think it might
So
have
happy
been
it
Steven
didn't
Spielberg or
happen
somebody
that
said, no, you should have the good character and then add the bad character,
Yeah.
and have them be two separate, like be rivals.
Right.
Yeah, that would have been like if you lost Gizmo 30 minutes into the movie, I'm out.
Yeah, I don't know how I'd feel about that.
Who gives
am
a
I rooting
shit?
for?
Where's
at this
Gizmo?
point.
Yeah.
No, I'd feel betrayed.
I'm not rooting for that kid Zach Galligan who never fucking did another movie. The star of
Hey, he was a hot kid. Whatever.
he. I mean,
I
he
liked him there.
Yeah. I mean, come on. He's cute.
He
It's
was like
fun-
such a good like.
It's funny
soul.
when somebody like stars in like their first movie, and you're like, I'm in Hollywood now. I'm a movie
No,
star.
Right.
he had another movie. What else was he?
Yeah,
was in
did
something
a couple
else.
things, but he
Yeah,
didn't, like-
he did a couple of things.
yeah, but like when you think like you're fucking you're like a star now. You're a movie star, and like Hollywood's like, no, you're only the kid in Gremlins. Like that's it. You're
Well,
right.
maybe he, unfortunately, this is maybe he just
hit wonder.
refused. Well, maybe he refused to have sex with Hollywood executives. I mean, I know that I hate that this is. But look, Corey Feldman's in this, and he
I
had
know.
a star. He's a star in 4 or 5 more films. And look, I mean, he claims a lot of people were having sex with him. or
Well,
at
we
least trying
we
to.
did.
So-
There's a lot of faces that pop. Like Judge Reinhold's in this movie.
Yeah.
We did Fast Times. Phoebe Cates is one of my all-time.
She
How
was
old
my
is-
crush back then
Yeah. All right.
in that movie.
How old is she in this?
She's got to be maybe 18 or 19.
I really hope
Look it up.
she's 18. I thought she was very cute. But then
Yeah,
sometimes you're
she's
like,
so
oh, she's
cute.
14. You're like, no. But yeah,
Oh
was
no, that's too young. No,
I know,
no,
I know.
No, I mean that's too young for her to be in that movie.
Yeah.
She doesn't look 14.
She's 21 in this movie.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I thought
perfect.
so.
Perfect.
Yeah.
She should have
She is-
got naked in this one too.
Yeah, yeah.
If you're gonna do PG-13, can I get Phoebe Cates' boobs for like 30 seconds at least?
She looks great in this.
No, I
yeah.
talked about it when we did Fast Times at Ridgemont High. I've met her a couple times.
She's
she lives on the
so-
Upper East Side.
Oh my god.
Oh,
she was
really?
so hot back then. Jesus.
She is, in her 50s. She's a mom. She owns like she owns basically like you know what she owns? She owns a kind of shop where you would buy a fucking Mogwai on the Upper East Side. Now that I think about it, she literally owns like
Is she still to this day? That's where she is.
So she has a knick-knack shop on Madison Avenue.
Do you want to go
where-
like stalk her and talk about Gremlins and get like an interview going?
No, so the reason I know her is that I used to work at a restaurant that she was a regular at.
Okay,
And
I like
so
how you said no.
No, I mean, she's married. I respect the institution of marriage, but she is in her 50s and smoking hot. Like, she still looks phenomenal. I had a couple conversations with her, but she literally has a shop where, like Upper East Side women. Yeah.
Oh, is that her right now? Oh, there she
Yeah,
is.
no,
Wow.
Dude, she's married to Kevin Kline.
Gorgeous.
Like, they used to come into the restaurant all the time. She this shop like Upper East Side women will come in and spend $800 on fucking bookends. It's like that kind of
Damn.
store. So
Bookends.
she does well for herself, but she left the movie business a long time. But
Uh-huh.
I made her laugh. I
Nice.
was
Threw that
charming.
in there. I made her
I
Good
laugh.
got
job. Yeah.
I was charming. I was charming. But
Oh man.
yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if in the back room of her store there's like what
Fucking
are those things that
Gizmo's
they said they call Corona
grandson.
like the pangolins, like all this shit that
Oh,
you're not supposed to
pangolins.
eat in
Yeah, yeah,
China.
yeah.
I
Um,
wouldn't be surprised if she's supplying the entire Upper East Side with like dragons.
So we should talk about just a little bit about how this plot progresses. Basically, Gizmo's this cute thing that they bring home to the house, and what happens? At first there's the rules. He keeps getting freaked out by the bright
Right.
light,
Right.
and then some water. He's
He
with
has Corey over.
he has Corey
and
Feldman
the
over.
dumb shit spills the water on him.
Yes,
Yeah.
Corey Feldman spills like a tiny bit of water on Gizmo, and then Gizmo basically hatches 6 or 5 other
Yes.
other at the time they looked like Gizmo, so 5 other Gizmos out of that water, and basically the
Right.
kid's takeaway from that is that water makes them multiply, and that's like this big thing.
Right, exactly. So that's
and
the
it's a-
first thing he learns. But you know what freaks me out a little bit? He's not as freaked out as
He should be more
should
freaked out,
be, right?
Yes, both of
Because
them,
they told him don't make sure no water goes on him, but they don't tell him why.
right.
So
Yeah.
when that happens to me, it's like I would have freaked out.
I would
I
have
don't
freaked out multiple points in this movie.
Right.
They
Yeah.
like but it's also like amazing too. You're like you don't expect it to give birth that way.
Right.
So like yeah, and like teenagers are assholes. Like you don't let a
Well, what do
you don't
you
give
mean?
this much power to a fucking teenager. Like
Yeah,
that's
But I
why
mean, they didn't do it on purpose. Like the guy was really cool. What was his name? Zach.
oh Zach Galligan? What the fuck is his
Yeah.
name?
Yeah, that guy, the main guy.
He's the good guy, man.
He
He's
is the good guy.
We
He
can't
didn't
take
do
away
anything
from him.
wrong in this, and he's like
And Corey was a good guy too. He didn't try to
was an
he was a little, yeah. It was an accident. He didn't try to like be a.
Yeah, he's the Corey
I will-
Feldman is the friend. He's always the friend next door.
I will point out that Corey Feldman as a child, I mean, what a good actor. He's just so natural, and you
Yeah.
believe it. Like so many kid actors, they really fuck it up and they take you out of the movie. But Corey, I
Yeah,
believed him the entire time.
Well, that's why those are the ones that have the tough transition becoming adult actors
Mm-hmm.
because they never outgrow that like kid face.
Yeah.
Like
He never did.
Fred Savage is like there's a bunch of them where it's like they were so good as kids that they just become weird when they get like Macaulay Culkin is another one like that. Like
Yeah.
there's something
That's
like
a lot of pressure though, starting off
my
at like
God,
at such
yeah.
a young age and having so much pressure. Like
there's a little like
Changes
deal with the
crazy.
devil there. Something is like not right if you're that good as a kid.
Yeah.
That I don't know. There's something creepy about it. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I could see that. So yeah, and then eventually these the Mogwais, they basically, this is the last part. I'll go with the plot just because after this, it's the whole movie is just fun and hijinks. But so the Mogwais like basically enter the pupal stage, which is basically when they cocoon up, just like a beetle or whatever, right? A beetle, well, not a beetle,
Moth.
A moth? There's a moth or a butterfly.
Butterfly.
A caterpillar.
Moth or butterfly.
Caterpillar will go into a cocoon and then come out a butterfly. Like they'll go through this metamorphosis. So they enter this pupal stage, and all 5 of them, and then they're studying one with the scientist, and he's the one that figures out it's a pupal stage. And when they burst open as these gremlins, and they immediately start wreaking havoc. Like Peter said, basically anything anything's failing in any of the appliances in the house are failing. It's always the gremlins. They have like this ability to make it seem like an accident, but it's obviously them. Who's the wife in this movie? Who's the
I don't know her. What's her name? It's on here.
well, anyway.
Frances Lee McCain. She plays the mom.
Right. So she has a scene in the beginning when these things first turn into gremlins where she kills like 5 of them.
Yeah,
In
she's
the-
a
in
really
the-
like
good mom.
stabbing them.
Yeah. Legit stabbing them like through the heart and putting the blender on them. It was
This
pretty
reminded
badass.
me. This movie reminded me of a lot of other stuff. There's definitely a little bit of Wizard of Oz with the nasty neighbor who like doesn't like the dog. Like that definitely reminded me of the Wicked Witch in Oz going after Toto. They
What a
filmed.
bitch, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Just talk about how
town.
much of a bitch.
The town is the same set as Back to the Future, and if you look closely
Really?
at the very beginning, you can see where the clock tower is that they get struck by lightning at the end of Back to the Future. So it reminded me of that too. And this is such a weird reference, but on Reading Rainbow, do you remember when Reading Rainbow they would read a children's book at the end of every episode of Reading Rainbow? Do you
I
guys
don't
I
even
remember?
know
Did
don't
you
what
guys?
that
remember
is.
that.
I don't know
Did
what
you
it
watch
is.
Reading Rainbow?
No.
Oh, dude, are you guys familiar? Are you familiar with the show Reading Rainbow at all?
Nope.
All right, so
No.
it was a literacy program
Okay.
in
Okay.
order on PBS in order to encourage children to read.
Okay.
And
Okay.
so there was like different segments, and at the very end, they would pick a children's book, and they would read that children's book. Like it would be narrated like at the end to end the episode. So
Okay.
I have vivid memories of episodes of Reading Rainbow, but there's one book called Meanwhile Back at the Ranch,
Oh,
and
I know the saying.
yeah, so
Meanwhile,
meanwhile,
back at the ranch.
meanwhile back at the ranch, a guy is like the guy goes off the ranch and he's trying to like go to the bank to borrow money or whatever the dad is doing. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, the mom like has struck oil and she built like she's doing all this stuff while the dad's away. And this movie reminded me like the dad is away and the mom is like kicking ass. Meanwhile,
Right.
back at the ranch, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I wonder
yeah,
if they
yeah.
like he like drew from that story for like because like literally like the dad comes home and he's like, "Hey, did I miss anything, guys?" And they're like, "Yeah, you missed everything, Dad. Where the fuck have you been?"
Inventing shitty, like, I don't know, orange. What was that? Like an orange squeezer, like an orange
Oh, it was like a
juice?
juicer
A
that just
juicer? What
obviously
the fuck
didn't
was
work.
it?
Yeah.
Yes,
The
very
other one that
obviously.
he's just working on
The
this entire
eggs.
time, the bathroom buddy. And it's like this fucking piece of shit that no one would ever fucking use in a million years. He's like,
Oh.
all right. He keeps setting it up. He's like, all right, you're late for an interview and you haven't shaved. So normally you're in a predicament. What are you gonna do this time? And then he just like shoots out, and then toothpaste constantly is just
Yeah.
spurting out.
Oh my
everywhere.
God.
Yeah.
That just reminded me of like John Candy
Oh,
Yeah,
love
yeah,
John
yeah.
Candy.
and the dad from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, right?
Rick
Rick
Moranis.
yeah.
Another inventor. They're all, yeah, I love him.
Yeah. They're all.
And also like I just like these. I always had a thing for like con artists.
I love it.
And like
yeah.
and carnies and like there's something like you have to be like if you're a salesman like you have to have a bit of the con artist in you even if what you're selling is legit. And I've always like I've been taken advantage by salespeople, but I like appreciate the game. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Sure.
there's a leather coat in my parents' closet that I got that this fucking like Moroccan street vendor like put on my body and made before I knew I was happening. I was paying $200. The jacket doesn't fit me today.
My friend. You look at
Yeah,
me.
he's
my
like,
friend.
dude, the
Yeah.
jacket is
Hey,
too
girl,
big
do
for
it
me
again.
today, and I'm 50 pounds heavier than I was when I fucking bought the jacket. And to this day, I appreciate that this kid was able to pull off this scam on me.
Respect.
But I just like I can't
Yeah.
get like I can only get so mad if someone is that good at what they do. Like
Right.
I'll laugh if I get taken.
Yeah.
I'll just be like, all right, you got that one. You know what I mean? Like it's
Right.
like I respect the game. So like to be
Right.
an
Right.
inventor and to have to try to sell your invention, that's a tough road, man.
Yeah.
I
I mean, when
appreciate
you're
that
the
shit.
inventor, you also have to have a certain amount, like you believe in your product because you actually created it, invented it. You're actually really all about it. You're so
Right.
dedicated and devoted to that product that
Right.
they're like,
It's
you
different
tell
than
me you're
just
talking
being.
about it.
Yeah. It's different than just being a salesman.
Guess what sounds
Right.
nuts now? Having an online bookstore. But Jeff Bezos figured that one out. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
every
he
invention,
did.
you know what I mean? Like everything sounds. I have people that tell me,
Sounds crazy.
yeah, they didn't know. I know people that don't know that Amazon sells books.
Or they used to, yeah. Well, they used to be that's all they did.
Yeah, that's how they started.
Right.
And at the time, people were like,
was actually-
"Why are you selling new books
Dude.
at a discount?"
Have you ever seen that crazy picture of Jeff Bezos, like when Amazon was starting?
Yeah,
Yeah, the
yeah.
basement.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Like the panel, like the Amazon or whatever.
1989, I think, or
Yeah.
1999. Let me check.
like I have like a heart for like
yeah, I
like-
got it.
for the
You got
loser. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like some
yeah.
of those guys are lovable losers, and you just like can't help but like root for those guys.
Yeah,
oh my
yeah.
god.
Wasn't
It's
that
e-
how Steve Jobs started? What's the movie? In the
Yeah,
basement.
him and Steve Wozniak, the same thing. They were just like they got lucky. You have to get lucky too. You can't just be smart.
It's got to
you
be
have to.
everything. It's got to be like luck, timing, the right people, the right
Listen,
place, the hard work.
I can't go viral to save my life. So obviously there's something that's out of my control.
You never know. It's all about that click, that little click.
You know what keeps happening to me? People come up to me in person and go, "Hey, I really like that tweet." I'm like, "Why are you fucking telling me?
Why don't you make it go viral?
How about you retweet it, you asshole?" Like, it literally.
Well, that's the thing. You have to make tweets that people are willing to retweet. That's the whole thing.
Dude, I got a text this week. "Hey, I really enjoyed that tweet." I was like, "Thanks."
Well, the reason why I don't know who sent that, but the reason why is probably because they didn't want to be associated with it publicly, but they want to privately
they're scared.
let you.
Yeah,
right, exactly.
People are fucking scared.
Yeah,
I get private messages all the time.
Right, so you have
I
to be
get that with
shill.
my memes. Like, because I post like ridiculous memes. Not that I create all of them or whatever, and I have like a lot of my friends who are like in the corporate world or just feel like they can't post certain things, and they send me the most like crazy shit because they know that I'll post it. You know. So I get what you're saying, like that some people can't actually repost it because it's too wild for them.
Yeah,
they can't.
I'll have like people will private message me, be like, "Listen, I just want you to know that I do support what you're saying. I know if I say it public, they'll come after me." And I'm
it's true.
I get that. It's
Great.
crazy.
It's true.
Like, pussy.
And now everyone has nothing but free time to go stir shit on the fucking internet.
Oh God.
So.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. I had to take like a few days off without making a status about taking days off.
Yes, good for you.
Yeah, without announcing.
Thank fucking God.
I just took the fucking days off.
Good.
Because it was just getting too much. And it's not like I'm turning my back to the issue. It's just that people are now just so angry.
Yeah.
That it's like, it's just not good for your mental.
Yeah, it's
social media is not good for anyone's mental health.
It feeds off of other people's. It's like a brush fire. Like you just keep adding flame to it, and it just and then you say something nice.
Yeah.
And there's a word. God forbid, there's a word out of place, and people are like, "Oh, actually, did you mean to say the opposite of what?" It's like the words.
No, bitch, I meant to say what I said.
Yeah, I know, and also like the words. Like, I literally got into an argument with a comedian yesterday because he's like, it literally means this. I was like, no, it literally means the opposite. That's what, like, words, like, the meaning of words is important. Yeah. You can't say it literally means the opposite of what it means.
Yes.
Yeah. It bothers me to no end. People really don't give a fuck about speech and words, individual words, and they just kind of like, especially my generation is completely corrupted language, I feel like.
But that, I mean, like, we were warned. Like, that's what 1984 is about. Like, that's what a lot of science fiction is about. It's like we were literally warned to be careful of that kind of stuff, and people are using it as a blueprint on how to like go after their friends. Like,
guys, I can't comment on anybody's. Like, I see certain things that like I disagree with. I can't. Like, I know I can't start commenting and like trying to like communicate with someone because I know it's going to happen.
Yeah.
So
The funny thing is, what I do is I don't like to be nailed down, so I won't say exactly what I mean, but I'll say something that stirs some shit. But what I won't do is like go cause trouble on your thing.
You'll do it on your own, you mean?
I do it on my own, but then people will find me, and then and like.
Tag you.
And it's funny when you see like that people who don't comment, and then all of a sudden, I literally got into it with this girl that I went to college with that I haven't seen in 20 years, and she wanted to go back and forth. And at the end, I go, listen, it's funny because I don't hear from people, and then I say something that they disagree with, and then I hear from them. So like, it's nice to hear from you. I hope you're doing well.
Yeah.
So literally, you've been stalking my Facebook this whole time, and now you decided to fucking post 3 articles on my shit.
This was probably the last straw, dude.
Yeah.
She was probably like watching your shit and reading your shit.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
She was like, she finally blew up and she's like, fuck you.
Yeah.
This shit.
It's funny because I was with one of my friends yesterday, and she doesn't do social media, but she'll like go on there. So I was like, oh, you're a stalker. She's like, yeah, I like to look.
Right, the creepers.
Lurkers.
But she'll quietly she's somebody who's like been to the border and actually helped people like get asylum. Right. So she's like quietly like saving people's lives.
Oh, and she's not.
Oh, you mean not posting like
and not
posting on Facebook?
Wow.
So I said something to her about like me liking to stir shit.
One like is one prayer.
One like equals one prayer. Yes.
Silence is violence.
Yes. That's it. Yeah.
I said
Man, we
something.
really have become like a meme culture.
No one
It's
can
so
think.
disgusting. It really is so obviously disgusting.
She said, I said something about stirring shit. She goes, yeah, I know. I look at yours and I go, that's Peter, and then I just move on to the next thing. So she knows, like, you know what I mean? She's not.
Who is this woman? I want to marry
She knows
her.
me as a person. Like,
Perfect.
she's not gonna like pick a fight with me on Facebook.
Right.
Right.
But there is a lot of that. Like, people just start when I hear certain terminology, and I'm like, oh, this person has been brainwashed. Like, I don't even
Right.
like I can't use logic and reason with
Yeah.
this person because they're spouting the talking points that they were
Yeah.
told to
Correct.
say.
Yeah.
So
I've fallen victim to a lot of these trends on post this if you want to support, post that, and then I like get mad at myself and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong? Like, I can curse, right?
yeah,
I'm
of
like,
course.
I'm like, what's wrong with me? What am I doing? I'm deleting posts, re-editing them, hashtag
God.
this, no, don't do that. And I'm like, yo, honestly, like I don't even want to do this anymore.
I didn't become a comedian so that I could join the Communist Party. Like, I'm an independent contractor. Like, if you want to work with me,
Fuck
great.
this.
I'd like to
Right.
work with you. If you don't want to work with me, but like,
Right.
I don't want to join your team. Like,
Right, no.
I have my own shit. I make my own podcast. I produce my own shows. Like,
Right.
I don't want to be part of your fucking your cool kid club. Right? I'd rather not.
Good solo. Yeah.
It's whack. Like, that's why would we be comedians? Like, why would we be performers in the first place?
Right.
Like,
Yeah,
I would
you
have
mean
just
you don't want to walk in lockstep with the cultural expectation?
yeah, like Colin Quinn said
Yeah,
fucking
exactly.
perfectly is that
Yeah.
like we're like and the funny thing is the guys who are they're not trying to cancel like the bigger names. Like they do for like a minute. But like if Patrice was around today, Geraldo,
God,
those
we
guys,
need Patrice.
they would have
we really
tried
need
to
him.
and then those guys would have laughed like Louis back then, like
Yeah.
Burr, like they would have laughed in everybody's face.
But
Yeah.
can we talk about also the fact that like things have definitely changed? Like times have changed. The jokes have to change because certain things you could say back then you can't say now because I don't want to say people are too sensitive, but people are too sensitive
Sure.
about words,
Yes.
about the wrong thing. And it's not the words, you know? And people are getting too, I don't know, they're just, you can't say anything. Like, how do you go on stage and do you
Well,
feel
the funny thing is,
comfortable?
I was a restaurant manager up until a couple of years ago, and I like there were things that if somebody had like yelped what I had said, I would have gotten fired like a few times. And I always say like the joke I always say about being a restaurant manager, like the best thing you can do is hide in the bathroom because if you're there when a problem happens, it's always like, well, what did you do? Why did you do this? Why? If you're just hiding in the bathroom, you're like, oh shit, did I miss it? I didn't see. You know, like there's no benefit for being present when a problem happens. So like I'd get into it like with an employee, and I'd catch myself being like, oh, if I actually told them the truth, I would just get fired. So I have to I have to pretend that I'm dumber than I am. So that I don't get in trouble. And guess what? That's the reason why I don't do that job. Like, I don't want to do that job anymore.
Right.
So I didn't become a comedian
You don't want
so
to
that
dumb
someone
down.
could call HR on me.
Right.
I had to deal with HR then.
Well, that's the whole reason you become a comedian, so that you
Yeah.
don't have to-
It's because I can't fucking handle that shit. Like, I just couldn't.
Right.
I couldn't function.
Yeah,
So-
no, I just go ahead, make your
No,
point.
I'm sorry. I've been like pontificating.
Yeah, no, I know. I know how heated you get.
Yeah,
with
no, I
these
know.
things. Yeah. I just want it to be said that like I agree with pretty much everything you're saying. But I do want it to be said that like at the same time, what's most frustrating for me is that I completely support the foundation of a lot of what is being said right now by some of these people, that are doing the witch hunting. For instance, I do think that, it's crazy the amount of police brutality against black people in the country. Like, my dad was a NYPD cop, and he's dead. He's been dead for 10 plus years. I like to believe he was a good guy and he didn't do that. And to be honest, he was kind of like a lazy, immediate. As he retired, he smoked pot immediately. He was like a pothead, and I just don't think he was.
If he was a pothead, he wasn't violent.
know what I mean?
He didn't have the energy to be a bad cop. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Like, I mean, I just knew him, and I don't think he was doing that. But here's the thing: I don't know for sure. And I'm, even though I have that lineage, I'm totally in support of being of police reform and just being against all that brutality going on. And I am even in support of a lot of the, what is being said in the Black Lives Matter movement. I mean, the foundation of it, absolutely. What I am not in support of is controlling other people's speech and, putting them on a list and blacklisting them if they have a different opinion from me. I'm in favor of dialogue. I'm in favor of, actually hashing this out. And I'm not in favor of complete anarchy either. I mean, there are, I think, am I crazy to it feels like if I'm not in favor of complete anarchy and 100% witch hunts for words that people use, then I'm not with the movement. It's like, no, I'm with the movement. Just be a little bit reasonable. And the thing is like most of the black people I know, most of the friends that I have that are black are kind of, on that side of things where it's like, hey, just stop fucking killing us. This is a huge problem, but they're not looking to like trip up white people and call them racist. Like, it's not these individual people. Like, that's coming from white people. And it's like really, it's kind of aggravating. And look, I don't think I'm going to get called out for something like that because I'm just not someone who gets involved in those kinds of discussions. But the thing is I wish that I could. I wish that rational people could be involved in those discussions because right now all we see is the complete ridiculous, racist right versus like the complete ridiculous anarchist left. And those are the only people that are willing to talk publicly because they just hate each other and everyone knows the expectations. It's like all these rational people just have to sit by the wayside and just like,
you know what they're doing, Alex? They're hiding in the bathroom because it's not worth it. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
Because it could only be bad. It could only be bad for them if they get it. And me, like I wish they like. I want to go viral that way too. Like, I wish people would come after me more. Like, I don't give a fuck. You
just got to double down on the racism.
I don't give a fuck. So for me, like, the lockdown.
Just keep retweeting Anthony Cumia.
The lockdown is such bullshit. And honestly, if I'm racist against anything, it's against Cuomo and fucking De Blasio. Mm-hmm. I actually, like, I'm Sicilian. I actually Googled to make sure that neither one of them was Sicilian.
Are they not?
Oh, neither one.
Before you talk shit.
Sicily would not fucking claim either one of those fucking assholes.
I thought Cuomo.
He says now after he Googled.
Mario Cuomo, their father,
Yeah.
Mario Cuomo went to Sicily years ago, and the mob was gonna whack him out just for fun. That's literally in his Wikipedia page.
Is it really?
Yeah, they were like, you know what? We should kill some American just for fun. Let's kill Mario Cuomo this week. And then they decided against it. So like, I'm getting in trouble because like this is my thing. Last week, I'm a bad guy because I want to go to the beach. This week we want to abolish the police. Who's fucking enforcing the lockdown?
Yeah,
like good vibes. You want the government. What fucking hippie asshole is going to police the streets if we get rid of the fucking cops?
Yeah, what happens if we get a future pandemic, like in 2 years?
So you're telling me if I go to if fucking like Jews have funerals in Brooklyn, everyone's gonna die,
right?
And the police have to go there to break it up. But if fucking a manic pixie blonde hair asshole is throwing bricks through windows, we're all just supposed to be like, hey, I saw a girl. She was like a 16-year-old blonde girl writing "fuck the police" on the Upper East Side. I was gonna throw my bicycle out of her head. I was like, "You fucking garbage person! Like, what the fuck are you doing?"
FTP.
No, and it's like, and listen, you know how I feel about the cops? I don't like the cops either. Like, I want to be left alone. But guess what? I wanted to be left alone last week too when you were telling me I couldn't go to the fucking beach.
Right, the hypocrisy, like, I just wish they would acknowledge the hypocrisy of that lockdown. Well,
here's the deal. There's a little bit of a difference, though, no? Like, right now, it's kind of like, shit hit the fan. It wasn't a planned picnic to the beach.
The lockdown is a big part of why everything that's happening is happening. Everyone's standing around. No one's working. People are fucking got nothing better to do.
Are they supposed to be reopening soon? Like the 16th or something?
That's what it's supposed to be. But listen, I mean, look, the city's on fire.
Cuomo promised me May 15th. My barbecue Peter Palooza was scheduled for May 17th. I was going ahead with that. My father was going to order sausage from the guy. He's got the sausage guy.
Bono.
He was going to order the sausage, and then Cuomo, without even telling me, extends the lockdown another month.
Bullshit.
Why? I don't
bullshit.
I don't know.
He wanted to sabotage the Peter Palooza.
I got fucking sausage going bad in the freezer now. Now it's been sitting for a month in the fucking freezer. All right, I'm not.
He's
I
not
don't know
feeling
why
his
I'm just.
hair. Your hair looks good. Leave it. It looks good. You
This
got
is
some beaver going on.
this. We're gonna release this clip, and I'm gonna finally go viral on fucking YouTube.
Oh, that's
finally,
not
finally
happening.
gonna happen.
Fucking it.
I think what you have to do, Peter, to go viral. I think I said it before, but like the only two people having the conversation are the completely racist psychos, and then the complete anarchist pixie whatever the fuck. So what you have to do is you have to join one of those people. You have to
What
be
if I
one of
do
those people.
both?
And
What if I do?
Hold on, and Peter, what are you closer to? Let's be honest.
I'm a commie. I'm deep down. I'm a feminist, communist.
Yeah.
No, listen.
You're calling people out. Any kind of comments, any kind of DMs, any kind of anything that's construed, any kind of word that's a little bit sounds like you might not be with the movement. People are just canceling you.
Yeah,
Well,
I
yeah.
just
Like
don't. I
reading
don't like
shit.
that.
There's
I like
a list.
It's freaking me out.
They have a list of.
It's freaking me out.
There's
Have you
a
seen
list,
this? Josie,
there's a
have you
list
seen
of
this?
racist comments that's getting added.
No, a
names
list
are
of
getting added
racist
to.
comedians, New York City comedians.
I mean, here's the deal. How do you go ahead and like put a comedian in that category?
Well, they'll tell you in the comments. So some of it, it's like that guy said something that I didn't
Literally.
like that one time.
Yeah.
That's the
Kramer?
problem. It literally is.
They'll screenshot it or something.
They're like this is the thing. It's like it just keeps growing. It's like a cancer that keeps. Because
Yeah,
is it like
funny.
were you there when that person lit a cross on fire? Is that what it is? Or did they write an essay that they didn't say Black Lives Matter enough times in the essay? Because that's literally what we're talking about here. Like
Yeah, it's the extreme.
back in the
sides.
day, it was pretty clear who was. They weren't really hiding the racism back in the day, so it was pretty clear. Now it's like. It's a lot of it has been co-opted by like a lot of this like political
Everything all right
theory.
there, Peter?
Yeah,
Jesus.
it's a photo of my nephews at my mom's
Oh.
table.
Oh,
that
hi,
just fell over.
nephew.
Hello.
It's been co-opted by a lot of like other politics. So like literally, I got into it with some girl who I won't name, who like she says she's a comedian, but like unfortunately you can't have funny injected into your chest by a surgeon. So
Oh, Jesus. Wow, that's pretty good.
there's no operation for that. But
Yeah.
I literally was making fun of Cuomo, and she goes, "I noticed that you've been saying a lot of stuff about the lockdown, but you
I know
haven't
what this
said
is.
anything in support."
Oh,
And so she goes,
I'm gonna head out.
She goes, "You are a racist."
Yeah.
And then she gave me some books that I could read. I wish I was kidding.
And what was your and Peter? What was your statement? To be like, don't summarize because I want people to understand how ridiculously crazy this is.
How did it start?
Yeah, what did you say on Twitter? What was the thing that elicited you are a racist?
Cuomo-
Here's some reading.
Cuomo posted a video with something, and I quote tweeted, "Wow, May 31st, and his tan already looks great." That was the entire tweet.
I don't understand. How does that make you racist?
Because I'm making fun of one of their gods. So that Cuomo is one of their deities now.
Well, not
So-
anymore. He just said sorry for bashing the police.
Oh, so now he's out. So
Oh,
now,
he's
so that's
out.
a-
He's
okay,
out.
So
They're
he
gonna
got,
burn
good.
him.
So we
Yeah. That was like
again,
2 days
if
ago.
if he had just hid in the bathroom
Right.
for 3 months, he could be king of America after the
Potentially.
lockdown.
Yes, potentially.
should have pulled the manager.
So I went after Cuomo, and so
Not even went after. You were like,
You just
I made a
a
joke
You're a
yeah.
fucking
at his
comedian.
expense.
What the fuck?
So here's what's gonna happen. Here's what's gonna happen. And I almost wrote this yesterday too. What's gonna happen is this is actually not a conservatives versus liberals thing. It's a slightly impure liberal versus the super duper pure woke people.
Yes.
And guess what? The third level high master woke people are going to publicly execute the
centrist
65%
liberals. Yep.
pure woke people.
That's true.
This thing fucking happened. It happened in China, like under Mao Zedong. Like I know the history of this stuff.
Yeah.
Like they go after the people that are impure. So the best thing you can do is say
Impure.
fuck you to all these people,
That's
because
true.
if you give them an inch, they will eat. They will eventually just kill you
Yeah.
anyway.
I'm telling you, power to you, man. You actually go there and comment.
Can I get a show on Compound Media or what? What the fuck? How did you know what?
Compound Media?
Josie,
Yeah.
like I'm gonna say this, I don't know how else to say this. Where did you come from? Because you appeared to me magically one day, and everybody I know knows you. But I was like, where did this fucking beautiful
Who the
creature
fuck
come?
is this
Where did
bitch?
this
Because
beautiful magical creature come from? Is she a mogwai? Like, where are you?
I am a Mogwai. Where did I come from? Like, what do I do? What, like,
Yeah, like, are you?
so I don't
How
do
did you
stand up.
get wrapped up in the comedy
Okay,
world? And
so I know everybody because I've been going to the West Village for like 10 years. I've been
There
in
you
the
go.
music scene, like, know all the musicians, know all the everybody's in the same place.
yeah, yeah.
And then, so I'm an aspiring actor. Don't you love that?
Yeah.
And a host. And I got together with Larry, whom I also knew for like a bunch of years. And we're like, yo, let's do this. And
That's
I don't know, maybe
definitely
that's
enough
why. That's how we
information.
met eventually.
Yeah. I mean, I feel
Were
like just hanging out in the West Village is like
Were you-
I
enough.
haven't
were
done
you-
stand up, but I would love like, but I don't. I would. It's a long way there.
Were
But
you
should
in?
try it
Were
sometime.
you in nightlife at all?
oh, absolutely. So I worked at Pasha. I worked at
Oh, okay.
Pro Bar, like house music,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
after hours, which is why
I
it's
was
like after hours.
I managed at Tao.
Oh, get out of here!
Yeah, yeah.
Actually,
I worked for Tao Group for a long time.
for how long? I was in the hospitality industry for a while.
I worked at the one in Midtown, so we didn't have the nightclub, but I was there for like 3
I went there for an
years.
interview when Red was there.
Who's Red?
Red.
What were you interviewing for?
I don't know, some hostess shit.
Cocktail server?
Hostess.
I managed the cocktail servers. I would have been your manager.
Oh,
I
damn.
was real nice.
So happy that
I
didn't
was
happen.
I was very
Yeah.
respectful to everybody. I was real nice. No, I was
Yo,
I was
Were
a
you?
good manager.
I was a
I-
manager at a sushi restaurant. Well, yeah, manager. Manager pretty much means people think manager is like some fancy shit. Manager means you get fucked no matter what happens. Every
Yeah.
time something goes wrong, you're
Mhm.
a busboy, you're a waiter, you're a host. You take orders, you clean up stuff off the floor.
Yeah.
Like you do everything.
Well, there, like,
Yeah.
the way I said it is that the owner hates paying the managers because if everything is running smoothly, he goes, well, why am I giving this person all this money?
Oh, right.
But he doesn't understand that the reason things are going smoothly is because you have a good manager.
Right.
Exactly.
So he goes, oh, if I just get rid of this manager, I save all this money. And then everything goes to shit. And he's like, oh, fuck, I got to get a manager. Like, they never, like, a restaurant owner is somebody who goes, we're going to do this. This is the plan. This is how we're doing things. Oh my God, is there $5 over here? Okay, fuck it. We'll do, like, they just can't stick to, like,
Yeah.
a plan. So they just will do whatever the fuck. So, you know,
Yeah.
they hate paying managers. They hate spending any
So
money.
frustrating.
Well, guess what?
I-
Like, Corona took care of that because who knows what's going to happen in the restaurant business when this is all over.
I mean,
It's
in
gonna
some
be-
restaurants, I feel like they're okay because they have the to-go option, the delivery option, or whatever.
Yeah, but it's hard to, like, if the restaurant's not full, like if you don't do 2 turns in a night,
Right.
you can't make it in New York. You
Yeah.
have to be busy. And New York is like the only place in the world where you have all these people that come to New York that can work in restaurants, and you have all these people that go out to eat 3 times a week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like my parents go to a restaurant probably 4 times a year. I used to have regulars that
shit.
were there. They're like, "Oh, it's Tuesday. We got to eat somewhere." You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like
Yeah,
that's a
yeah,
very
yeah.
New York thing. And if that goes
Yeah,
away,
it really is.
like we're all in trouble, you know?
Absolutely.
I feel like that's a fundamental part of the New York economy.
It
Well, we'll
is.
see what happens. In 2 weeks, we're either going to have like triple the cases or it's going to magically be gone. So we'll
Yeah.
figure it out.
I
Lockdown
feel
is
like
over.
I feel like it might just go away
Memor-
because yeah, it wasn't. It spiked. I'm not saying it wasn't. It was real. It was certainly real, and cases were spiking in New York and New Jersey specifically. So it was real. But I think we've been past the worst of it, and they've been wanting to extend this longer to make it. I don't know why. I mean, I don't want to be conspiracy theorist too much about it, but it seems like they wanted the lockdown to last longer than it could have.
Last longer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now that the protests are happening all over the country, they have no leg to stand on. Like if the hospitals aren't overwhelmed in 2 weeks, they were lying. Or they were wrong.
Right.
They were wrong.
We
Like,
haven't heard flatten the curve in fucking weeks.
Oh,
Remember when we were
Right.
flattening
in months.
The curve is a half pipe now. The curve
Yeah.
went so flat that it came back up again.
Right.
Like
Right.
this shit has like radicalized me. Like I was a very calm guy who didn't want to talk about politics.
Yeah.
But like it's so clear that we're being manipulated, and the fact that they're gonna like reelect these bozos to keep doing what they're doing is a travesty. Like the Jersey governor, the New York governor, the New York city mayor. Those guys
Oh
are
my God,
the worst.
I mean, they completely dropped the ball on both of these things. Now with the protests and the riots and all that, but also with the pandemic and the lockdowns. I mean, they all fucked up all of it. The only
Yeah.
thing that we need them to do is to, maintain the peace, and basically when a big fucking thing happens, like to be
Yeah.
some source of normalcy.
It's
Like,
the same thing with
Nope.
cops. Like, I want to be left
Yeah.
alone by the police unless
course.
there's a problem. I don't want the
Right.
cops fucking. I don't want them bothering anybody for stupid
or
bullshit.
overstepping
Right.
and fucking
Yeah.
using their
if
weapons.
a guy's
like-
if a guy's buying fucking Lucy cigarettes, why
Right.
why is
What
there
the
5
fuck?
fucking cops there?
See, that's when I
Exactly.
turned against the police. When
Ridiculous.
Eric Garner happened,
Yeah,
I was
awful.
like, you know what? Fuck the police. That is ridiculous. That we watched that man get murdered. And
Isn't
it was
that
over
the equivalent
cigarettes.
of like when you don't need to be there? Sorry, I didn't
Right.
mean to cut you off.
Yeah.
No,
Well, I
no,
think
no, no.
In a free society, we should police ourselves for the most part. Like,
Yeah.
why are people calling the cops anyway? Why are you calling the cops on your neighbor?
Bunch of white
Why are you
men.
arresting a 16-year-old for having a joint?
Yeah.
You should. Your job as a cop is to realize that that's not a serious enough offense, and that you're
Yeah.
fucking up this young person's life potentially.
Oh,
Tell him to eat it. Eat this joint, like I had to do once. Eat this joint.
What?
Yeah, that's right. Eat this joint and go the fuck home. Don't arrest a 16-year-old kid.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It's
It's just like
crazy.
fucking up somebody's
Well,
whole
'cause-
day for what?
And that's how you radicalize someone against you. You
But
fucking
again, I
fuck
don't-
up their youth, and then they grow up and hate cops. And why? I can't blame them. Like,
I don't
why
want
would
the
you blame
cops
them?
being called on people. I don't want the cops bothering people, and I also don't want the cops telling the fucking Chinese lady that owns the nail salon that she can't open up, because you
Yes.
can't be in favor of the police state for one and then against the police state for the other.
Yeah,
because
it's
that
odd.
shit don't translate.
Isn't it odd that all the people that are defund the police are were totally in favor of the lockdown? Like, I mean, to be honest, it's such a hypocrisy. I can't even process that.
Yeah.
I don't even know if that's it is true. I'm looking at it online and I'm going, but it can't be true because those two things don't make sense at all. So
Yeah.
I can't understand it.
The girl that I got into it on Facebook that I haven't spoken to in 20 years, I literally said, oh, we're gonna defund the police. So how are we enforcing the lockdown? Through good vibes? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I
And
like
she's
that. By the way, that's
she's
a
like-
good thing to say on stage later.
She's like,
whenever
well,
we get there.
actually, I don't like the terminology. And then some other some other white kid from fucking Long Island was like, dude, defund the police literally means demilitarize the police. I was like, no, defund literally means to not fund.
Fund.
So police can't do good. And he's like, oh, so you want to talk about the meaning of the words? And I was like,
Oh, wow.
that's the only thing we have.
Yeah. Yeah, these fucking morons, dude.
Can I say, guys, that
Yeah.
I'm somebody who like I'll do this with my therapist. Like, I'll yell at my therapist, but then I immediately I feel better talking to you guys about this
Aw.
stuff. So like, I'm gonna go and
Anytime.
I'm gonna go eat a pork chop after this, and I'm just gonna feel good. So don't think like, I'm seriously, right? It's defrosting right now. So like,
Listen to me.
don't
I
think
bought
that
a bag of Nutella. I bought a bag
Ooh.
of croissants and a big old jar of Nutella.
Oh
and I
my
slit the
God.
croissants open, slap some Nutella in, and then wait, there's more. I fucking put it in the pan and toast them, and they're yes. Sorry, go about your
Whoa,
pork chop.
Are you-
whoa! What is
Wait,
this tease? I'm all hard. What,
Josie, are you
Tell me
single?
how you ate them.
Are you single? Dude, listen, back in the day, guys guys in my father's generation that were in Jersey, they went back to the old country to grab one of you and bring her back to America. So if I got to come to Greece and like be like, there's a girl in this village I'm interested in.
She's
Okay, I'm
making
in
toast.
Athens.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, I'm in the city, so there's no goats running around.
a lot of my guys are married to. In fact, the other Peter Garachi, who's my first cousin, is married to a Greek girl. He got married in a
They're
Greek
fucking,
church.
They're crazy, but
I
Yeah,
mean,
they
listen.
are.
I mean, I'm basically into Sicilians, Colombians.
They're all nuts,
Like all
yeah.
the fucking
Yeah,
black,
yeah.
like all the crazy ones. Like,
Yeah,
so
it's
whatever.
why
true.
do they say that about Greek women though? I don't understand.
It's all Mediterranean women. They're
No,
all kind of just
I
crazy.
understand. It's
I
funny
also
about
think it's
me.
probably just because they're like, classically attractive, like Mediterranean, like Italian, Greek, like all the, like they're like very sought after women. And
It's like
so like
saucy.
that kind of, yeah.
It's a lot of
fire.
sundresses.
It's fiery.
It's a lot of
Yeah,
it's a lot of bare
sassy.
shoulders and like sundresses.
Yeah, they'll
and a
like hit
saucy
you.
attitude.
They'll like hit you in the face. but it's like nice.
But I also
Yeah,
like
no,
I told my
you
brother-in-law.
like it though.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, of course. Are
Yeah.
you kidding me? My
I
brother-in-law.
love a crazy girl. I have to
Oh,
admit
dude,
it.
I
I know, and I don't love it. Like I it's not good. It's
You
awful.
love you
actually.
hate to love it.
I love it though. I think it's the only thing I like actually. Yeah. Like in the whole world.
Yeah, no, it's. I mean, I don't know. I've
I
been
like
with
an
girls who are, like,
irrational bitch. You know,
I've
what
been
I
with
mean?
girls who are nice and like respectful to me, and I'm like, this is
It's
I'm
very
so
boring.
bored right now. I
Yeah,
need,
it's like what do we do? What are we doing? Yeah, we're
I
holding
start
hands
pouring
and-
I start pouring water on them, hoping they
Why
turn
aren't
into a
you hitting
monster
me?
because there's no other.
Yeah, exactly.
I feed
Yeah.
them after midnight so they turn into a fucking monster.
Spill
Yeah.
some water on them.
Oh man, Josie, this has been a lot of
This
fun. I'm
was
so glad
fantastic.
that we did
It has
this.
been. Can I just say something? I don't know if you
Please.
guys are wrapping up or not, but like, I feel like I wanted to say this reading a little bit about Gremlins before. I was like, yo, did you notice that funny and like it's so funny, but it kind of resembles what we're going through now with the coronavirus and the riots, if you think about it.
How
Gremlins
so?
with
How so?
all the riots burning down the city and like
Oh yeah,
That's true. The scene that the Gremlins cause is very
and
fiery.
like and the coronavirus being that like I don't know, maybe it's the beginning, the gremlin gizmo with the three
Well,
things
it's
you're not
definitely a
supposed to
mystery.
do.
Like we definitely feel like this can't possibly be true. That this is what caused
Right.
this shit. And
like,
also,
what the
and then
fuck?
there's a scene where they're in
And
the
it comes
movie.
from China. Sorry.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
true.
also
Oh,
get
shit.
Chinese virus.
Yeah, there you go. There
There's
you
also
go.
the scene where they're watching are they watching Snow White in the movie theater?
Yeah, I
Ah,
think so.
fuck. Are they?
Which is like a really cool
What
scene,
the-
but it's like, so even the people who are looting are eventually going to go home and watch Netflix anyway.
Right.
So it's kind of like, it's like kind of heartwarming that no matter what, we all will just go back and watch Disney movies, even after a
Exactly.
day of destruction. So it's kind of sweet in that way. But
Yeah.
this movie, like, there's they do like Silent Night, but like there's like an electronic Silent Night kind of score to
Oh,
this
on
movie.
the keys.
Yeah, which gives me that's what my favorite Christmas movie. So this is not like a Christmas movie that I enjoy for Christmas. Like it kind of gives me. You just gave me the creeps a little bit right there with your Gizmo voice.
Well, that's very good. I just wanted to shut up and listen to that.
I got a little-
Glad we got that.
Anyway, I'll be on the first
God.
flight to Athens in the morning.
There are no direct flights, by the way.
Really?
You
have to
can't go
go-
JFK
yeah.
to Athens?
So here's the deal with Greece right now. We have not yet opened our gates. They are going to start reopening, I think, to 2 or 3, maybe only 2 or 3 European countries. And so if you want to come from the States, you would have to go through one of those countries. And I think one of them is Germany and the other one is Switzerland, if I'm not mistaken. And now in order to actually come in, you would have to have a European ID.
Oh, wow,
Or a
yeah.
residency card, something to show
Yeah.
that you're not,
Or
you know,
like a
that you have a
passport?
reason to be here.
Wow.
Do you have,
Not
do you
a
have
pass.
Not even
you
a
have a
pass.
plan yet for coming back, or are you just going to wait and see?
So I did have a plan, but I just want to make sure I need to come back because I have a wedding and a baptism I have to be here for. And so if I leave when I'm supposed to, I need to make sure that I'm able to come back with no issues.
Got it.
Right.
Yeah. So that's why I'm holding off a little bit.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. It makes sense to hold off, wait
Yeah.
till this subsides. I mean, we are kind of wrapping up, but I forgot to ask, are there any riots going on in Greece right now?
No,
Okay.
but I saw somebody posting something on Instagram about protesting tomorrow in the center of Athens
Okay.
for George Floyd and for
Yeah.
racism and all that, which
Yeah.
is pretty cool that they're doing this a worldwide thing.
No,
as
I
long as it's
agree.
a peaceful protest.
I think
As
the
long as-
ones that have been global have been, well, there's been, a few that have gone south, but
Right.
for the most part, I think when it just sticks to the, to the stand up against racism and the police brutality, like it's great.
Yeah.
Like I'm planning on going to one Saturday in Uptown.
Where? Oh, be safe. That's
in
my
Manhattan.
neighborhood.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's like 180 something. Well, no, not
Oh,
180.
no, that's not my neighborhood.
160 something. I don't know.
That's
This
fine.
girl I know lives up on 150th, and there's just like something going on. But it's like a protest at 1 p.m. I don't expect it to get violent. It's just going to be
Sounds pretty chill. You know?
yeah. And I do want to make it out for that. I do think that it's a historic moment, and we are moving forward in the right direction if we call this stuff out. You know, the cops shouldn't be killing citizens, and especially when one demographic is being targeted, you know, especially black men. It's always black, and I'm not saying black women, of course, whatever. Like, they definitely get it too, but you know, the idea that if you're a black man, your odds of going to jail, and not, you know, not just dying, like your odds of going to jail are like, it's like crazy. It's like 1 in like 8, like, go to jail. It's like, of course they have issues. Like, you know, of course there's like poverty. Like, this is a problem. This is a problem. And
my thing is, like, I really believe in like a free society, and I want us to like run our own communities. Like, I don't want the state coming in, and I remember I went to
Ron Swanson.
What's that? Yeah. But no, I went to Italy for the first time when I was like 13, and there's military police in the airports with machine guns. And I remember being like, what the fuck is, like, what is that? That's bad. And guess what? Now in America, you see military police with machine guns all of the time. I don't like that. And you, in a free society, in a society that is like designed for people to like have opportunity to make the life that they want to make, you cannot have a segment of the population that believes that they're being hunted. You just it doesn't work. It even
justifiably so too.
You take out like just from like a logical standpoint, take out like the pain and the horror of it. You can't build a society. It doesn't function. You can't function as a society if a huge chunk of your population just believes that the system is rigged against them. So we have to fix that, or else it will never work, and we'll never be able to get along. And at the end of the day, I want everybody. I want there to be peace. Like, I'm somebody, I believe in order and I believe in building. Like, I don't like destruction. I don't like chaos. Right. But we have to build together. We can't wait for someone else. We certainly can't wait for de Blasio and Cuomo to do it for us.
No.
So we have to clear. Like, let us not be gremlins. Let us not let us not be those who cause havoc.
Let us all be Gizmo.
Break shit. Let's be inventors.
Let's be Gizmo, man.
Yes.
Let's make the fucking thing with the toothbrush and the razor, and everybody can be happy together.
Yeah.
The bathroom buddy.
And until that happens, I'm going to hide in the bathroom with my bathroom buddy.
Please do.
That's the only safe place. Okay. Josie, this has been great. What do you want to plug for everybody?
Oh, man. Well, everything I have going on is pretty much on at Josie After Hours with a Z on Instagram. And we have the Let's Get Loud also with a Z, because that's just who we are. Let'sGetLoud.com. We're streaming live every Thursday at 9 p.m. Nice. But catch me on Instagram, Josie After Hours.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I'll give you a follow right away now that I know that. And we'll put everything.
I love having you. Great, Josie. And that Larry is
thank you so much. This has been so much fun. And you need to come on the show whenever.
Oh, I'd love to. Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah. Like, as much as I enjoy Zoom and everything, like going to Compound and doing your show is an experience.
Different energy.
That we have to do that too. Yes. Like, as soon as this is all over, like, we all have to physically, we have to hug, we have to kiss, hold each other.
I can't wait.
Eat Nutella. Yeah.
Yes.
Bring me a Nutella. Bring another girl from Greece back to New York too. Like,
my God. Sure. That's what I'll do.
Why? Well, of course.
Just I had that in mind.
I mean, I'm sure nobody would object. That would be
it literally used to be how this was done back in the day.
Back in the day, but you know.
Okay. Whatever you say.
All right. Well, anyway. I'm going to go eat a pork chop now, guys.
Yes, have fun.
But
enjoy
this
that.
Has been great. Are
Enjoy
we plugging
pork
anything
chop.
else?
I think that's
Plug
it.
away. I'm good.
Peter, do you have anything?
Am I plugging anything else? I don't know. No.
Let's Get Loud on Compound Media. Check it out.
Let's Get Loud.
Yeah. This has been great. Thank you so much, Josie.
And follow Josie on Instagram.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, follow me, guys. And we need to talk about another interesting Zoom.
For sure.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Bye.
Yeah, bye.